Hi, and welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. This is Loshak in the Bag show for Tuesday afternoon, August 7th. Sorry we were a little bit late. That was a technical issue. This time, actually, the delay was not due to my behavioral disorders and emotional disabilities. About half the time, it's due to me having some kind of a meltdown. The other half the time, it is actually due to technical issues. You know, most of the time, just not anyone's fault. It just happens. This time, you know, people are wondering, is Loshak melting down again? This time, no. This was just due to technical issues.
Yes, and we can lay blame where blame is due.
That's
Larry's fault. Larry dropped the ball.
No, this time it was uncertain, but now we're here, we're ready, and Jimmy the Bag, I'm feeling a little bit better than I was in the morning, and part of that does have to do with the win you got. I'm annoyed that I was this close to going with you on San Francisco first 5 innings, and the under was just leaving money off the table. But you know, great job on the great job on the San Francisco first 5, right, Jim?
Thank you. Yeah, Bumgarner seems to be in control, but I think they're going to lose this game. Oh, no.
No, but you
two-run home run right there.
What do you care? You just had him first 5. Oh, no, don't tell me you doubled up.
No, I didn't double up. No,
okay.
Didn't double up, but it's just I want Houston to... I'm starting to give up on this A's to win the division. The feed is down.
The feed is down? Is that true? I don't know. That might just be Marco Lu fucking with us.
It could be Marco Lu just messing with us.
I think it's okay. I think it's...
Cove Coleon says, damn, what the heck is up with the delay, man?
What's up with the delay now? Is everything good? Are we good? Okay, Larry's saying we're good. So
Larry's saying we're good.
Larry says we're good.
But can we trust him?
He's all we got. You
know what I'm saying? I love Larry. I love Larry. Wow, my God. The Giants bullpen fucking this up. This could easily be 2 games in a row that the Astros would have lost, and the A's would be, 3 games back.
Oh, he told Cole Coriolis talking about with the delay of the show.
Oh, shit. Okay, Cole. We're good, man.
So, yes.
We're good.
All right. Red Girl says, I told you strikeouts. Yes, you did. Listen,
strikes again.
Absolutely. Huge shout out. Huge shout out to Red Girl. So on the ball with those pitcher strikeout props. I was just not listening to anything really this morning, but I did give a bunch of plays, and I'm okay with it. The plays that I gave, I think it's an interesting card here. We'll get into it. We are also going to review WNBA. I did give a bunch of plays. Jim, did you do any WNBA research? Did you hear any?
I certainly did. I not only did research, but I was listening.
Yeah.
And I was creeping.
And how about like King Rail and all the people that
I was creeping, yeah? King. Okay. Yeah, I was creeping, and but thankfully enough, King's my boy. Yeah. And he's just a superstar with WNBA. I made some plays. I stayed off 2 games. I made 2 plays on 2 of the games.
WNBA.
I also cut my unit size with WNBA. I'm just going to put a half unit on now. Sure. I was using 3/4 of a unit. I've lost 4 straight WNBA. I'm cutting it down to a half unit, which makes me feel a little more comfortable. My man Big Tone coming in and says, I got a best bet once again. Los Angeles Angels run line. I got inside info on the Detroit pitcher starting today. I love hearing that, Big Tone, because I'm also on that play.
Wow, very nice. That's a late game. Yeah, WNBA, some interesting stuff. Is it a bounce back spot for the Aces? Maybe, maybe not. Is it a bounce back spot for the Lynx? Maybe, maybe not. Is it a letdown spot for the Seattle Storm? Maybe, maybe not. And then Washington and Phoenix, of course, in the morning show. I did take a couple plays. I did take Aces team total overs. I took the under in the Seattle-Indiana game, which has actually gotten bet up a little bit from the morning. And I did take Minnesota early. You know, I may be going back to this well that is just a dry well to keep going back to. Taking Minnesota. I mean, they're, obviously last year they were the best team in the league. And this year, obviously, they're a shell of their former self. The question is, how big of a shell are they or not? All right, so let's get into it. The first game to go ahead.
Just before we do, I am no more comfortable with this card. And the stuff that you found low hanging,
I don't like it.
It's not that I don't like it. I just can't join it.
Sure.
Where generally speaking, I can. I'm very uncomfortable with this card. I have 3 additions today. I'm tweaking the Coors Field fade for the first time all year, which makes me uncomfortable. I have a huge dog I'm putting in, but I tried to come onto some of your low hanging, the Vargas situation, and
you tried. Jimmy the Bag just couldn't do it.
Just couldn't do it, man. Just couldn't do it. But
God knows he tried.
But I just couldn't do it, man. But I'm looking forward to break this card down. Let's get
I
to
hope
work.
people find this show to be somewhat entertaining. Which ones are you talking about in particular? The old Felix Hernandez fade,
That
the
is
old Bartolo
exactly,
Colon fade, the
Yankees. The Yankees. Watching that market move towards the under on the Yankees White Sox was strange, and I was trying to figure that out. Although I can let you know that Nostra likes the over in that game, but I couldn't jump on the King Felix and Bartolo spot. And maybe this is just another situation where you are finding low-hanging fruit and I'm just not sharp or smart enough or sharp enough to pick up the low-hanging fruit and eat it. I'm also not fading Vargas. That Cincinnati Reds lineup is trash. I wanted to take the Reds, but that lineup they're throwing out there is awful. There's some ugly lineups in this card today.
Are there? You mean unexpectedly ugly?
Yes.
Really? So people are out? Motherfuckers are out?
Yeah, just very, very weak lines. I mean, we talked a lot about the players who were going to be out in the morning show, so it's not like huge surprises. Although I find, and I guess, I'm going back to this horrifying well that's screwed me over time and time again, but I find this Tampa Bay Ray lineup ugly. And I'm going back to the Orioles. Well, I know it's done nothing but terrible things for me, but I'm only adding a few plays. My man David H is riding with King Rail, and his I believe it's his Mystics that he's riding. And my man Ron Walsek says, "Show addicting like sniffing glue from a paper bag." That could make could make the poster.
Hell yeah! Actually, now sniffing glue is the one drug you really don't want to do, from what I've heard. I don't know.
Hey man, yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, if we're gonna talk about what drugs you should do and what you shouldn't do, most of them do fall under the shouldn't do.
Yeah, I mean, they call they call marijuana the healing of the nations. Okay, fine. I'll give you that. No one really has anything good to say about sniffing glue. Right?
You're right. Yeah, it does affect some of the smaller cities in my country. So yes,
you know what I'm saying. Like they've never done any studies on like terminal cancer patients where they're like sniffing glue and all of a sudden they felt better. I guarantee you, if they did those studies, they'd feel even worse. But anyway, let's and then of course we are going to discuss MMA. We are going to discuss the Contender Series. I've been for 2 years now. I've been doing very well in MMA. I've been great recently. 2 different plus 300 dogs. I had Mays in the last Contender Series, and I had Aldrich by decision at plus 300 also. And I do have a one play that I'm definitely going to give here. I may as well just give it now. Hey, Larry, do you happen to have the MMA record up there? Oh, yeah, if you could just throw up the MMA record up there. I just want everyone to see this shit. So they know what I've done in 2017, 2018. If you happen to have the MMA record up there, look at that. That is 2017, 2018. Of course, there were 2 3-unit wins over the last 2 weeks that really boosted that. But I'm up about 23 units now. I'll tell you one play I'm definitely going to give: Moffitt inside the distance. I'll just write that shit down right now.
Yeah, write
Moffitt,
it down.
in case anyone wants to tail. Again, in the Contender Series, we see a lot more fights that end inside the distance and that go to the cards. And whenever there's one of these big favorites that clearly has a big advantage over his or her opponent, it's usually a good bet or a better bet to just take him inside the distance. I think that is the case here with Moffitt and Kilburn. We'll see if Annie Marak agrees with that one. But
and
that's
our man Bill Butlicker also has 2 UFC plays.
Yes.
Also, Speedy Fighter will be joining us. Speedy Fighter has been giving out a lot of goods for us in the last little bit around UFC. And Stephen Alla says, outstanding, Pete. And that's from a good man. That's from a Marine.
Is he talking about the pick or just the show?
No, your record.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Stephen Alla. Huge shout out to Stephen Alla. Well, Stephen Alla, my pick on this one, I have a sneaking suspicion that both Mr. Butlicker and Annie Marak will agree with this pick. I may as well throw that one on right now. What the hell? Moffitt over Kilburn inside the distance at minus 180 currently at 5 dimes. Of course, if you just want to bet Moffitt to win straight up, you're looking at laying like, minus 500 or something ridiculous like that, which probably has a little bit of value. But in a fight like this, I definitely prefer to take the prop. Moffitt inside the distance minus 180. We'll start out with that one, an official pick in MMA. But we can move on, Jim. Let's go to
Joe Lowry, Speedy Fighters play. But let's get to the UFC.
Lowry, I'll be very interested to hear what they have to say. That's a tough fight. All right, so
let's get to that after. There's a lot of talk about the WNBA.
Yes.
King talking about how it's the Lynx playoff starts right now, and Drew Brees doesn't think with Brunson out and if they don't defend the 3-point line that's going to work. And then some talk about we talked about in the morning show that Joey Votto was not going to be in the lineup, and Marco Lou says Joey Votto is an overrated Canadian. Do you know who else is an overrated Canadian?
Who's that? No.
Right here. I'm overrated Canadian.
No.
Not overrated in my MLB picks, though. Just a very disappointing season. But yeah, right here, overrated.
Listen, Jim. I would have had, but your analysis of that CFL game on Friday was vintage Jimmy the Bag analysis. As soon as I heard it as analysis, I didn't do any research on that game. I didn't need to do any other. I was like, I'm taking the over here 50. Mohamed Joma felt the same way, and that was definitely a winner. All right, so let's just review all the MLB picks that we gave in the morning show. These are all the picks. Jimmy the Bag gave San Francisco first half. That's already a winner. His other plays that go tonight: Milwaukee first half minus a half run, and Milwaukee run line plus 110. Cubs KC first half under 5 minus 125. Angels first half minus a half, and the full game run line plus 100. Those are all your picks, right?
They are.
All right. Now here are the picks that I gave in the morning show. Some of these plays Jim is concerned about. Now I'm concerned about if there's some people who are out for some of these lineups that I'm not aware of, which would be a problem.
You name the team, I'll tell you the lineup.
First, here are the picks. I'm going to go a little bit slowly so that Jim can have a beat to process it. If he has any comment on it, just give a 1 second comment, then we'll get into deep analysis. Boston second half minus 125.
Yeah.
Okay. Cubs second half minus 155.
I know that that Nostra's really high on the Cubs this evening.
Okay. Toronto first half team total over 2 minus 168.
Yeah, the idea that old Palmy's going to get touched.
Just let me know if anyone's out for any of these people. Okay. Then in the Seattle-Texas game, I have Seattle first 5 innings team total over 2.5 minus 130. Texas first 5 innings team total over 2.5 minus 150, and I took the first half over 6 minus 115.
I can tell you these Seattle-Texas lineups are ugly.
Uglier than normal, huh?
Ugly. You got Herman behind the plate. Your 7, 8, 9 in Seattle's Herman, Mabin, Romine.
Are you sure about that?
You know who's batting third for the Mariners tonight? Denard Span. If you have such a weak lineup that you need to put old man Span in the 3 hole, that's trouble. This is an ugly Mariner lineup. And then you got Calhoun batting 8th for Texas. I've been watching him play the last week. Mm-hmm. I've not seen him produce anything. You got Carlos Tocci at center field. He's not producing anything. You got Jerks and Profar batting 5th. When the lineup came out, Vitalis even wrote making fun of the Texas manager, saying that he's just mailing it in. He's just going for the check. Bannister, but that he's just not even trying anymore. I love the way Profar has been playing personally, but still.
So who should be in now that's not in for Texas or Seattle?
Well, I'm loving Kiner Khalifa, the catcher. He can also play second and third. He's playing very, very well. I would like him in the lineup. I also don't like Calhoun. I would not want Calhoun in the lineup. I wouldn't want that 8-9 there. Obviously, you have the Mariners team with their second catcher. Mabin is... I don't know why the Mariners have this affinity for these guys, like the Dyson signing of last year and then the D. Gordon signing and the Mabin signing. They have D. Gordon batting first. His on-base percentage in the last 54 games is 289. It might be 283, but it's 284. It's in the 280s is his on-base percentage, but they're still leading him off. I don't think this... I mean, the Haniger second's fine, and Nelson Cruz is a beast, and Seager and Healy's been cold the last few games. But I just... now... These pitchers are so susceptible. Yeah. You could be absolutely right with them getting touched.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, the total on that game hasn't moved, which is interesting, but we'll talk about that one a little bit more. Then I did the same thing in the Yankees-White Sox game. Yankees, first 5 innings, team total over 2.5. White Sox, first 5 innings, team total over 2. And Yankees-White Sox, both teams, first 5 innings over 5.
Sorry, I was reading the notes on the last one.
Yankees-White Sox, first 5 innings over, and both team total overs.
Yeah, it was interesting watching the market move towards the under. When I heard that Nostra was backing it, I was like, maybe I'm not looking at this right. The Yankees lineup has not been posted. Let me see if I can refresh this.
All right, that's okay. Well, I'm just reading the picks here, and then the other thing is I did the same thing with the.
It is up.
Oh, it is up.
Yeah.
Okay. I did the same thing with the Mets game. Cincinnati, first 5 innings, team total over 2. Mets, first 5 innings, team total over 2. And Cincinnati Mets, first 5 innings, over 4.5 minus 115.
Oh, wow. Eric Sniffen saying, Jimmy, that guy, Isaiah Kiner Falefa, my boy from Hawaii, man, got drafted out of high school. Awesome to see him taking advantage of his opportunity. I love the way that kid looks. Love the way he looks. I very, very impressed with him offensively and defensively. This Yankees lineup, too. Greg Bird's batting 5th. I've got him in baseball pool. He's been in a slump. Andahar is DHing again because of his woes at third base. He's got to hit. I feel like there's going to be more pressure on him to hit. Then you got Neil Walker at third, Higashioka at catcher. You got Robinson in left field in 9. I mean, this is not the vaunted Yankees lineup that we remember. Aaron Hicks leading off, although Aaron Hicks is having a fine season. And then again, over the White Sox. Now, one thing Nostra did say when we were talking was that sometimes that we worry about the offense and the batting too much, and we make too much of an importance. But you got Lamar batting 6th, Sanchez 7th, Engel 8th, and Narvaez 9th. I mean, this is
All right. All right, well, that's what I'm on, and that's what I'm on as of right. There's one other play that I definitely want to add, and that is going to be San Diego Milwaukee second half under 3.5 minus 120. San Diego Milwaukee second half under 3.5 minus 120. That's a play that I bet, and I'm going to throw that one on there. All right, so those are all the picks that we've given in MLB. I basically have 3 games where I'm taking a bunch of first 5 overs: the Mets game, the Yankees game, and the Seattle Texas game. Throwing on Milwaukee second half under, throwing on Boston and the Cubs second half money lines, and that's about it. That's about it for now. I was also thinking about fading Bettis and taking Pittsburgh on the first 5 innings, team total over on that one. And then the Arizona game, the Oakland game, and the Angels game I did not have a chance to look into, so maybe I'll tweet out plays on those unless I hear our discussion and decide that I want to go on something here. But Jim, what would you like to add to your card?
Well, speaking of your interest in fading Bettis, I'm going ahead and doing it now. It's basically a pick'em, and when you have a pick'em in the Coors Field fade, it should be nice and easy. You just pick your team, but it's a pick'em. Yet the Rockies minus 1.5 was plus 215, and the Pirates minus 1.5 was plus 135. Clearly, you can see who the market is more worried about. So I am doubling up now. I had to decide whether to take Pirates first 5 minus a run and minus a half run. It was a difference of plus 105 and plus 150, and I hummed and hawed for a long time. I decided just to go minus a half run. Pirates first 5 minus a half run. Pirates full game minus 1.5.
All right, let me give you this. Pirates. Let me find the Jimmy page here. Okay, Pittsburgh first 5 minus a half run, and Pittsburgh on the alternative run line, right?
Yes, and and Don Reach is saying Bettis still the best first 5 pitcher by far, 13-1-1. I don't know. I don't know how this is possible. I understand that's his record, but to me, I mean, it's just smoke and mirror. Like I just don't trust him moving forward. I mean, I know it's crazy to say that when the guy's gone 13-1-1. Jay Peach says Rockies again. When the lineups came out, we thought that the money would start steaming in on the Rockies, and that didn't happen. And I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited, and I finally had to make the move because it wasn't happening.
He waited and he waited, and it just didn't happen. Lord knows he was waiting, but it just wasn't in the cards for old Jimmy the Bag.
But I'm gonna ride with my man Anthony L. I'm gonna ride with my man Twali Latte. I'm gonna ride with my man Nostra Toda. Fade Bettis, fade Bettis, fade Bettis is what Anthony L says, and that's what I'm doing.
All right, so the best line we can give you right now will be at UWager plus 140. That's on the full game. Beautiful. And in the first 5 innings, let me find it. First 5 innings.
I believe that's one of the first times ever that the alternative run line is being better at a different book than Bet365.
Yes, I think so. Well, that's not alternative run line though. That's the actual run line.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, Colorado is.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so then Pittsburgh minus a half run. You want that one, right,
yes,
Jim?
I do.
Minus a half run will be plus 120. That's a market line. So Pittsburgh minus a half, and that is plus 120 market wide. And I'm thinking about throwing on the old Pittsburgh team total over on that one as well. All right, Jim. What else do you want to?
Okay. Well, first off, when I like a play and I'm questioning it, I don't make it official before I come in, or I don't make it official in the morning show, and then I see cappers against it, I stay off of it. I was very interested in the Greinke and the Diamondback spot, and I wanted to make a move. Parlay Poppy says Pivetta gets crushed by Arizona, Greinke back in good form. I'm telling you, Nostra's very high on the Phillies and Pivetta here. I've decided to stay off of this game. I know that Pivetta 2-4, 5.63 ERA and 10 road starts. He just looks very vulnerable. Greinke had a 7-game winning streak snapped. He's looking very good. 1.68 ERA, 209 opponent's batting average in his last 9 starts. All that said, I'm not. If somebody that I really think is hot right now, and look, Twatty coming in with his play on the Pittsburgh money line. If somebody coming in who's really hot right now is against me,
the Twat man's liking Pittsburgh here.
Oh yeah, and I love that. I'm on Pittsburgh. No, but I was saying that Nostra is big on Philly here. I'm not. There's no reason for me. I'll hit less than 54%. going against something like that. Jay Peach says Arizona all day, no question. Fade Nostra, no question. You know, I hear you guys. He's up 92 units right now, and it's not that you know, I just, if Pete was heavy on the Phillies,
well, you don't.
but if he was, I wouldn't take the Diamondbacks. It's just that simple. I just think that when a capper who's very knowledgeable is heavy on one side, it doesn't. I don't think I'm going to hit. I don't think he's going to lose. You know, 54% of the time on that play. And
I'm not one of those cappers that you want putting into the.
Hey, we've seen your record.
Maybe with some second halves, yes, but on a full game, not necessarily.
We've seen your record, so I've deleted my Diamondbacks play. Now I know everybody is going to be against this play. My next play that I'm locking in, I get it. You know, I'm it's so much so I know that the negativity is going to come rolling in that I don't even want to read it for a bit. But I'm on the Orioles -1.5. When I look at these two lineups, I'm telling you, I think Baltimore has a better lineup than Tampa Bay here. VR, Beckham, Jones, Trumbo, Davis, Mancini, Nunez, Peter. I know a Nunez, Peterson, Joseph 789 is not going to scare anybody, but really, Malik Smith, Matt Duffy, Jake Bowers. Now I love Bowers. CJ Cron's having a good year. Wendell, Kiermaier. Maybe I'm being maybe that top six obviously has less power than the Orioles, but maybe it's better manufacturing runs. But Brandon Lowe, Perez, Adames. You know, I feel like I'm getting a giant line. I'm going to take it, and I'm getting a giant line. I'm taking Orioles -1.5, and I believe it's at +285.
The reason I'm not talking right now is because I'm seeing Microsoft Windows. The application is not responding. The program may respond again if you wait. No shit, Sherlock. No shit, Captain Obvious. Or it may not if you wait. They don't remind you of that one, do they, Jim? My computer completely frozen up here.
Oh, Anna Merrick coming in saying I'm rolling with you in Nostra. I'm on the O's too. You know, Marco Lou says, damn it, Jimmy, why are you always on the other side of me? Hey, Marco Lou, it's good to be on the other side of me. I'm down like 23 odd units this year in MLB. So be confident. Don't worry when you're on the other side of me. It's being something important. Isan Sulfagari says, Jimmy, Baltimore is not a play I'm making, but it's definitely not a bad play, especially at a big dog line. Says, cash it. I'm ZH says, Orioles -1 is a much better play. You know what? It's a much better play for the show. Sure. But I'm at a point where I'm going for big scores. You know, it's not been a very good month, and I'm up a little bit of money already today, and I'm going to go for a big score with Cobb over Glass now. Orioles just took 3 straight from the Rays. Rays were just swept by the White Sox, and Cobb had a great career in this park. He's a 3.10 ERA at Tropicana Field. You know, obviously he got touched on July 26th by this Rays team, but I'm going to go back to the hand that slapped me in the face nonstop all year, and it's this Orioles hand. And yeah, I mean, I get it. I get why people wouldn't believe it. I think Glasnow is a nice pickup for them. But I'm going back to that hand that slaps me.
All right, thanks for keeping this going. I'm trying to get Windows to respond here, which it might do according to Windows itself.
Okay.
No, thank you very much. Thanks. They might respond if I wait. Trying to get it to respond here because I want to throw on the Pittsburgh first 5 team total over as well, and of course we want to talk about WNBA and MMA. So I hope that it responds within the next 20 minutes. What play are you adding here, Jim?
I'm adding the Orioles -1.5. Do you need me to grab the line?
Yes, at Bet365, right?
Yeah, it was +285 when I bet it about 50 minutes ago.
Okay.
I assume that there's not been much movement there, and that's where it will be. Sorry, 1 second. So
that's okay.
And Nostra is not taking it on the run line. Nostra is taking it just on the money line, which I understand. It's +285.
285. All right. Now suddenly my computer is working. And yes, +285. So Jim, you're taking a Baltimore -1.5 at +285. And you informed me that our boy Tuate Latte likes Pittsburgh tonight. He likes the fade of Bettis, likes all that, right?
He does.
Okay. I'm gonna take at least to start some team total overs. I guess I'll hold off on the full game for now, but I will definitely take first 5 innings team total over 3 +107. That's the current line at Pinnacle. So I'm throwing that one on there. What's so funny.
Just some horrible negative stuff and then a tiny bit of positive stuff creeping in on the O's play. My man Trenton Claxton wants to hit that Miami Marlins game next, so if you don't mind, we can.
All right, so let's move into the Miami Marlins game. Oh God, I shudder to think what my computer's going to do when I pull up this sheet. But okay, Miami against St. Louis. Yes, yesterday I kind of liked Miami. Of course, I wasn't in the show to suggest that I liked it. But here, once again, I think it's going to be a pass for me. But once again, have to be leaning Miami. Have to be leaning under, just the same as yesterday. The line has moved about 10 cents in Miami's favor from opening plus 140s down into the plus 130s. What do you think, Jim?
I like Miles Michaelis as much as the next guy, and I'm not sure what to make. Pablo Lopez. Yaya says it is no strong Coors. If you were just playing Coors the simple way that the Coors Field fade, you would take the Rockies minus 1.5 at plus 215. And I've done that every single game all year, and I'm not doing it here. Miles Michaelis, he's great, but I just can't trust that. If you want to make this play with any sort of value, to me, you got to take the Cardinals minus 1.5. Now, I can tell you, too, if we keep talking about it, I can tell you he's very high on the Cardinals in this spot. Pablo Lopez, to me...
Who's high on Cardinals? Tota.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Pablo Lopez, to me, is a question mark. I can't quite figure it out. 2-2, 4.67 ERA, 3 quality starts this year in his 6 starts. Miami's 2-4 when he's on the mound. He looked very good in his last start at Philly, and I wasn't sure if he was going to. I thought he was going to get touched. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 0 walks, 5 Ks. I just don't trust this Cards offense, and that's my problem. Obviously, to me, the Cardinals are a better team than the Marlins, and it looks like Ozuna goes 3 for 4 yesterday. He probably wants to show the Marlins that they made the bad decision letting him go, but I'm staying off this game. I just can't trust the offense to do enough. Raul Rogers says Lopez is also a bum. This guy's he's a decently high prospect.
So Nostra Tota likes the Cards here, huh?
Yes, he does.
Elio Rodriguez says, I like the Marlins to start fading, guys. Tomarino Tomor says, Lopez is off a great start, but he hasn't been consistent. I'd lean St. Louis, even at this price. Michaelis was great again last start, only 1 earned run. Yeah, Michaelis is just, what about the Miami first 5 innings team total under? I mean, this offense is nothing special. What's your take on the Miami offense, Jim? Oh, but it's 1.5, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they battle. That's about the only positive thing we've been saying about this offense. Dietrich, Anderson, Real Muto, Bohr, Castro, Riddle, Rojas, Sierra. That's about as strong as this lineup ever looks. I like that. Castro has cooled off a tiny bit. I mean, he was just scorching. I like Riddle. I think moving forward, like next year and moving forward, I think that Riddle's going to be a good shortstop for them. Anderson's on his way to win a Rookie of the Year. And Dietrich is nice. Real Muto in the lineup, and then Bohr is just not protected by anybody, so he hardly sees any good pitches. That's the problem. He's going through the same thing that Castellano is, where these guys are great hitters, but they don't ever get anything to look at because there's no protection in the lineup.
And let me see. And let me see. Other comments coming up. What was Tomarin? Lopez will have a great start, but he hasn't been consistent. I'd lean St. Louis even at this price. Michaelis was again great last start, only 1 earned run. How about St. Louis to score first? How about that? That might not be a bad play. Let me see what that line would be. Minus 174. How about no score in the first inning? Because I kind of like this guy Lopez. Yeah, how's he been doing recently?
Well, he's coming off a great start, and a start where I thought if he's going to get touched, he's going to get touched here on the road in Philadelphia. He went 6 innings, allowed just 5 hits, 1 earned run, 0 walks, 5 Ks. 3 quality starts and 6 starts. I actually expect him to get better as the season completes.
All right, I'm going to take this one. No score in the first inning. St. Louis, Miami, just minus 120. Not a huge loss.
My only concern with that play, and I like it, is Matt Carpenter, the leadoff spot. I mean, he's just a
beast, huh?
He's very, very good. I don't know if you guys remember how bad he was the first 2 months of the year. So when you're looking at his numbers, I mean, they made the All-Star game. He's got, 28 or 29 home runs. It's all happened in the last 8 weeks or so. That's my only concern. Like, he can turn on a pitch first. He's the only guy producing consistent offense. They all year long, the Cardinals are 58 and 55. They're 29 and 29 away. When you see a team with a 500 road record, they should be at least 10 games over 500 right now. And the fact is that they've never had 2 guys get hot at the same time. It was Jose Martinez, and then as soon as Jose Martinez cooled off, it was Matt Carpenter. As soon as Carpenter sort of cooled off, it was Ozuna for a week, and then Ozuna gets his corns. Right? Yeah. I mean, they just can't seem to get it all together.
All right, well, I'm going to take it. I might eat a loss with it, but St. Louis, Miami, no score in the first inning, minus 120. Thinking about that, let me see. St. Louis, Miami, no score in the first inning. Let me just enter my bet here. I'm going to take a shot with that one. Just a half unit, but I do kind of like it. All right, what else you got going on here, Jim?
That's it. I mean, we can
what
talk.
What other comments are cascading in, if any?
Don Ricci, I took Seattle money line. Crypto Flex. Crypto Flex asking if anybody's on the Yanks.
I'm on the Yanks team total over first 5 innings at 2.5, and I'm on. I mean, the big question is Lopez. Is Lopez going to? Because Lopez was good in his last start, but he does.
You know what? I know that another team that doesn't seem to get it together at the same time, other than that one game where they had 7 home runs, is the Phillies. But at home at Citizens Bank Park, I was really impressed with that outing, and it's just, I think it's just too simple to say, especially when it's just a 6-inning start. It's too simple to say, I see he's going to regress in his next start because his last start was so perfect.
Oh, no, that's not what I'm saying.
I know that's not what you're saying, but that's just something that sort of is talked about in the chat. And I can understand that when a pitcher goes 8 innings and throws 115 pitches. But in this Lopez start, if anything, he should have confidence off of this last start. So Parlay Poppy says Lopez got an 8 ERA in the last 3. Wow. So you're saying he must, because he allowed just 1 run in the. I got to check that out. I know I thought that he was very susceptible in that last start against the Phillies because he'd been touched in the 2 starts previous, but I don't believe it's quite that horrifying. Let me check that information out right now.
All right, I would be also leaning a score in the first, yes, in the Yankees White Sox game, although I've already tripled up on first 5 inning plays here. I think I might go with you, Jim, and add on a play on Pittsburgh on the first 5, although I think I'm only going to take him on the money line here. Tuate Latte really likes Pittsburgh here, right? And he likes Tyone. He likes Tyone to have a decent start.
He does. There's no. Those numbers are wrong. Parlay Poppy. Lopez does not have an 8 ERA in the last 3, because in his last 3 starts, he has pitched 17 2/3 innings and he's allowed 6 earned runs. You might be talking about his home starts.
In the meantime, I'm going to add on Pittsburgh. First 5 innings, money line. That's going to be minus 115 across the board. Pittsburgh, so I'm on the first 5 team total over 3 plus 107. And Pittsburgh, first 5 money line, minus 115. I've also added on St. Louis, Miami, no score in the first. And I'm thinking about adding on the Yankees game, score in the first, yes.
Yeah, and and Don Ricci says Yankees under has been hit. Yeah, that's not even his home record. I don't know. I can't back up. I can't support those numbers, Parlay. But I love you so much. Don't get that twisted. What do you make of this line movement in the Yankees total?
Towards the under.
Yeah.
I think that people are seeing a Yankees bullpen that's good, a Yankees lineup that's not as fearsome as it has been, and they're seeing a decent start from Lopez that might be repeatable. So it confuses me. I wouldn't have predicted it necessarily, but I certainly understand it. I'm not happy to see it, but I'm okay with my positions anyway. I'm hoping that the scoring will come in the beginning and then maybe later on. Maybe the second half under might be a nice little play there.
Hako Schofield saying I called the Astros, Jimmy. We love you so much, Hako Schofield, and great play. This Astros team, the way they're winning these games right now, obviously if you just look at records, you could expect them to meet the Red Sox in the AL, championship series. It doesn't always work out like that, but God, when I see a team win without their 3 best players, I think, oh no, they're going to be very, very good.
Houston?
Houston.
Oh yeah.
Nostra. I know his name's come up so many times during the show, but about 3 days ago he took the Astros to win it all at plus 400, and I can understand that. He also thinks the Red Sox are going to get touched in the playoffs. He doesn't think that they are. As good as they look. And we remember the last team that won 116 games, Seattle Mariners, they couldn't get past the Yankees in the ALCS. All
right, so let's get to some comments here. Mr. Gokster 99 says Tribe score first, of course, with Carrasco starting. Let's see. Other comments. Tom Reno says Houston's bullpen is underrated, much better than last year. Dom Ricci says I've rode Bettis every start. I can't lay off now. First 5 also on over on the Rockies. Okay, Zigzag Man says Texas Seattle goes over in my opinion. Yes, I'm on on the first 5 over, not the full game. J Peach is taking Rockies. CC Fitness likes Pittsburgh first 5 money line, and Anthony L says I like Pirates also. Bettis sucks. Tyone is good. Easy handicap. Tobrito Tomor says Tyone has good stuff, strong sinker, but he's been better at home. Blackman $1 back. I think that's a tough game to bet. Okay, understandable. Let me see. Other comments coming in, Jim. Kobe Valentine, the total has gone over in 5 of the Red Sox last 7 games against the Jays. Okay. I'm on the Jays first 5 team total over, and the Red Sox in the second.
I hate to stop you when you're on a run right now, but Angel Romero has come in with his soccer picks of the day.
Ah, okay.
He's on Pumas. Pumas plus 120 money line. And America minus 130 money line.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to write this down. I might tail it. More bad news for people who are liking the Texas game. CC Fitness says the ump in the Texas game is also pitcher friendly. One of the lowest batting averages against and whips. That's not good.
It's not good. And someone already mentioned that to me. And if you see Bartolo Colon and King Felix out there, these old men still trying to make it, are you not going to give them the extra strike?
Great point, Jimmy the Bag. You cornered me with that one. Absolutely, you're right. You're absolutely right. If it's a subconscious psychological bias, it's more likely to be with crappy pitchers than with good pitchers.
It's not crappy pitchers.
Right,
or it's just older pitchers.
Right, yes.
Older pitchers that are still going, still trying to continue their career. Of course, the subconscious is going to play. Of course, now, not everybody has compassion like that, but a lot of people do. And if you're already talking about numped, I don't want to draw everybody off of this over.
Yeah.
And when you've talked about low-hanging fruit, your percentages are so high that I should just blindly tail, but something just made me uncomfortable here.
Interesting. Isaac Hagen says, with the stats being put out, sounds like first 5 under on Texas and Seattle is the way to go. All right, well, I can't pull it now. Anthony L. likes Cubs money line, Indians over 8.5, Pirates -1, and Carrasco over 7.5 strikeouts. Kobe Valentine says Yanks White Sox under is 9-4 in the last 13 Fairchild games. That's another reason why that line might be headed down. Okay, what else is coming in here, Jim?
Anthony L saying, do we really believe Bettis will continue to get 8 runs of support every start? I mean, now I know why Dom's going back to the well. If you're making the same bet over and over again, you're 13-1-1 on them. Yeah. You go right back to the well. I absolutely do. Marco Lou's on the under 11.5.
Parlay Poppy, I'm strongly leaning under on Texas Seattle. Can't make an official play, but adding it.
J. Peach, fun fact, Cologne raises mini ponies. Which family does he do that with?
Mr. Goldster likes St. Louis in the under.
Anil Frank says, I think the results yesterday are making people a bit apprehensive on overs today. We know that's a fact. We know that recency bias, as hard as we try to not let it to creep in, it does.
Trenton Claxton says Miami's going to rock them tonight, Pete. So Trenton Claxton, but then Elio Rodriguez, if you get St. Louis -1 at even, I think that's the play. CC Fitness Cards have won their last 5 coming off of a loss. So people are back and forth with St. Louis and Miami. Trenton Claxton likes Miami first 5 money line. Brooke Jordan likes a St. Louis game under. Yes, I was vaguely leaning that way as well. Zigzag Man also liking Miami plus 1.5. Elio Rodriguez, I like the Marlins to start fading, guys. Wow. Back and forth on this Marlins game.
Yeah, Mohammed Joma saying line moving to Marlins right now, not sure why. Alex Letzinger saying why is Boston so low? We talked about that quite a bit on the early show, and it's not because of the lineup, I think. Like, let me just double check that quickly. It's nothing to do with the lineup. The lineup looks solid. It's Palmer. It's Pomerantz is the reason. It's got to be. And Andy Blue 25-25 saying, guys, got a Met play. We'll be all ears.
Yes, and definitely.
Mets versus Reds over. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, I did take the first 5 innings, for both team total overs and the first 5 innings over as well. And I would be thinking about maybe even a shot with the old score in the first inning. Yes, on this one, which is not that bad. Just -119 Romano against Vargas. Just -119 Romano against Vargas. Jim the Bag. Although there is rain, I'm worried that this one might be postponed or delayed. And if it's delayed, then some other factors.
Chris Carter saying there are big time storms in New Jersey right now. You know what? I don't know how to handle the storms because it got me off of Lynn. I talked about Lynn. I had like a dumb fucking monologue about Lynn, how he's, made because he's that cocky, bravado, turning down that 17.2 qualifying offer, ending up taking it to that. He's just that he's a bully on the mound. He's going to be perfect for the Pinstripes. And then, of course, the storm takes me off of it. Also, our man, where is he? Our man, giving us my man Mikey D, giving us the information that huge baseball-sized hail again in Colorado. That didn't hurt Freeland yesterday. And then Jesse Drexler just says, very confused with Pete's picks for all these runs in the New York game. CC could easily mow batters down, and New York hasn't been scoring in the last few games.
Yes, he could easily mow batters down, but he could also get touched just a little bit. Yeah, I just see two relatively vulnerable starting pitchers. But again, look, I could easily be wrong. Some of my triple ups and quadruple ups cash. Some of them are just, in retrospect, way off. Ron Walsek says Cobb gets revenge against the team that discarded him.
Yeah, and a couple of people talking about WNBA. Jay Stash just says WNBA picks didn't do too much time on this.
All right, should we move on? We haven't Parlay Poppy says best bet prop Romano under 4.5 strikeouts. Dude hasn't gone over 5 except 7 of last 23.
You know what? I'd be a little concerned, a tiny bit concerned about that because he's from Long Island. He's got all these friends and family coming out. I think he's going to try to strike people out. I think he's going to try to throw heat. Maybe that means he gets touched a little more. He was born in Long Island, grew up in Connecticut, a couple hours away. It's when you have your friends and family out there, you're going to go for strikeouts.
All right, I'm going to tail these Angel Romero's picks. What are these picks again? He likes the Pumas and America, right? Pumas
yes, and
America, and he also likes over in the Monterrey game. Monterrey, and right. Is that true?
He likes the Pumas and he likes America.
Right, and he also says, also leaning on the Monterrey money line as well, just waiting for the exact lineup. I could see the Pumas game going over 2.5. That'll be my hedge side bet. So he likes the Pumas and maybe over, and he also likes Monterrey. Not the over in Monterrey, just Monterrey.
And Parlay Poppy saying, in my opinion, people playing at home or in front of their friends get hit. I agree, but their strikeout numbers are usually, I don't have any stats to back that up, but I would expect that their strikeout numbers would be a tiny bit higher.
All right, well, that's it. A lot of interesting situations in MLB. I got a lot of plays riding. Hopefully you won't come back here and I will have to eat a whole bunch of units of losses. But let's move on to WNBA. There are 2 7 o'clock Eastern time games, the Aces against the Dream and Seattle against Indiana. I did give the under in the Seattle-Indiana game at 166.5, and that is just headed up. Not quite. Yep, there is already a 167. You wager jumped to 167. I gave the under at 166. Now it's up to 166.5 market wide. And I also took the Aces first quarter team total over 19.5 and first half team total over 39.5. Although I was warned about that. Who warned me about that? Saying that Atlanta plays great defense. Someone said I wouldn't take the Aces team totals in today's game. Atlanta does play great defense, which is absolutely true. But I just feel like on the road, at home, in any situation, the Aces just start running. And Atlanta's been a little bit better offensively as well over the past couple months, so maybe they'll agree to play at least a modest scoring pace. Which, if that happens, presumably. The Aces will once again, even if they're getting blown out, be able to get over their team totals, but not necessarily. I might be on the wrong side of all of these. The market has moved against me in the Seattle-Indiana total, and there are people who are suggesting that I'm on the wrong side with the Aces first quarter team total over and first half team total over as well. Jim, for the 7 o'clock WNBA games, you have anything you want to add, anything you want to comment on?
Yes, I do. Parlay Poppy here says Aces over 79.5, Dream under 87.5. If that happens, I'm going to go 0-2 because I'm on the Dream full game, and I'm on the full game under.
Wow. Okay, tell us why.
Well, we've all seen Dreams won 10 of 11. They're playing very good. They're shutting down teams. Tiffany Hayes put up 28 points, career best 6 3-pointers in the last game. The Aces are coming out over here after allowing 109 points. Obviously, Lane Beer is going to get in their faces over how bad that was defensively. I don't know if they're capable of playing better defensively, but that's going to be the point of contention in the dressing room before the game. Step up, defend the perimeter, and don't. That's a franchise record. I mean, obviously, they're a new season or new team, but 109 points is should not be. It's unacceptable. And the Dream used defense. They just held Minnesota to 68 points. I think that the Aces get tired late in this game. I think the Dream can control. I think, like we saw when the Storm played the Liberty and the Storm dominated that fourth quarter. And I just feel this is the same type of situation. Now, a lot of people are on the other side of me, but I'm taking Dream full game.
Well, the Dream full game best line right now, -8, -107. That's the current line at BetOnline, -8, -107. Pinnacle up at 8.5. And for the under 167, -109. 167, -109.
Two guys that I know are on the under are Justin Searcy and King Rail. And that
really?
I find that
interesting.
Well, I just they're very, very skilled at this, and so basically what I do is I cap the games first, and then I see which plays of the guys I respect the most are correlated to what I've capped, and that's the way I see this game going.
Okay, very nice.
Brooke Jordan coming in on the Dream under as well.
Wow, a lot of people really liking this one. So you didn't read any comments saying that the Aces are going to come out and once again just try to run them out of the building?
No, and I, you know, when I've read those kind of quotes, I've shared them on the show. Red Girl says Dream Team under, but they are a defensive team. Paco Healy on Aces in the over, so he's got the complete opposite play than me. King Rail says Aces have no bench. Stop Wilson, stop the Aces. Dream have the size to do so. Dream 13-2 last 15 against the spread. Dream 6-1 at home last 7 on under 167. Man, you know,
Wilson's out.
Asia Wilson's not playing.
Is she?
She's as far. No,
Isaac Higgins says no Wilson under.
That is
Is that true?
Wow, if that's true, then this line's going to drop like a rock.
Yeah. No Wilson. Is she out? Is that true?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up right now.
Yeah. I'm looking to see if there's any movement here. The line hasn't really moved that much, and the total hasn't really moved that much. You'd think that the line would be moving unless the news just came out. No Wilson under is what we were just told by Isaac Higgins. Isaac Higgins. Is Wilson out? Can you find anything?
No, there's nothing. Unless he's got the latest information, which is possible. I don't have any of that.
Noah Lastark says not true. She is playing. Okay, all right. Okay, King Rail says she's in. I mean, off the court.
Oh yeah, King's just saying that when Asia's on the bench for the few minutes that she is, they just completely fall apart.
Wow. Yep. There you go. All right. Interesting. So how is it that the Aces were able to run up such high scores, whether they were winning or losing, all season long, and now people are thinking that they're going to be held down by the Dream?
I mean, I just think it's that's an excellent question, and I just think that Lane Beer is going to find what happened in the last game unacceptable.
Tom Marino says Vegas play fast, but they don't shoot well from three. Yes, they can have some outages from three, although in their game against Phoenix, they shot terribly from three, and they still got up to 90 points just because of how fast they play. But yeah, I understand that Phoenix is a totally different kind of team from playing Atlanta. And Tom Marino says, I think their team total is tough. All right, well, hopefully I'll cash maybe one of them, and then I'll be okay. I took the first quarter and first half team total overs, and I took the under in the Indiana game. That line is moving against me as well. And I also did take the Lynx -1 on the first quarter, and the Lynx first quarter team total over 22. Those might be the wrong plays. Also, what do you have to say about any of the other WNBA games, Jim?
I can say quite a bit about each one, but I am, again, the type of situation. So, like, we should probably hit this game here, the other 7 o'clock game, the Indiana Fever game first. And
King Rail says it's playoff ball now. Dream is in playoff mode. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yes, they're switching to all right. Let's just run up and down the court a few times. No big deal. To now we're in playoff mode. Now we have to play some defense and do what we're going to do when it matters. Yeah. Great point.
Yeah, absolutely. And that his point there about playoff mode is and his belief in the Lynx led me to the Lynx. But
a couple comments I just want to read here. Sure. Jay Stasher says, best show ever. Thank you so much. And Joe Garcia says, shout out Pete and Jimmy. Still the best show on YouTube, in my opinion. They can't take that away. They will try. LOL. Thank you so much, Joe Garcia. It's the best show. You know, it might be the best. It's certainly up there, Jim. And they can't they'll try.
If it is up there amongst the best shows, it's because of our chat.
Hell yeah.
This Fever Storm now. This is another situation where
just one thing. Yeah. Jesse Dykstra, Indian Cowboy, likes Aces to win outright. Okay, just wanted to make everyone aware of that. Wow, there you go. Win outright. Indian Cowboy likes aces to win outright. I'm just telling you what the comment says. I don't even know if that's a true comment. I'm assuming it is.
Oh, no. You guys,
Jesse Dykstra wouldn't lie to us.
No, I trust.
There you go.
Dykstra
8-point underdog. Huge underdog. Indian Cowboy likes aces to win outright. Thank you so much, Jesse Dykstra, for that information. All right, what else do we have here?
Well, let's just hit that Fever game because it's coming up very shortly. Fever coming off a 2-game winning streak. Beat Dallas at home and then just hurt New York's feelings. They've now won 3 of 5. They forced 20 turnovers. They're obviously feeling a little better about themselves. Are the Storm going to play as hard as they need to? Probably. They're probably going to take care of business. I know that Kings on the Storm. It's just hard for me to see them fight the way they need to fight to ensure this big total. And every time I've thought that, Kings be right and the Storm have taken care of business. But I decided just to stay off this game.
So King Rail likes Seattle here. What does he like, in first half or full game or what?
You know, I don't. If King wants to let his plays out, I don't want to just read out all his plays.
Sure.
You know, I don't. You know, I don't.
Right.
You know, but I know that he believes in this Storm squad in this situation, and I understand they're a dominant team. But the way Indiana's playing right now, you know, the Storm seem to turn it on whenever they please. Will that work again here? It keeps working. Here, King says, Fever eliminated from the playoffs. Expect them to play around with their lineups, just like Liberty starting Nurse the other day. Tomer says, Liberty are bad and have injuries. Dallas was flat. Indiana is still horrible, in my opinion.
Wow, Seattle early might be a great play here on the first half. You know what I'm saying, Jim? Might be a great play here. All right, what else do you want to talk about in terms of WNBA?
So King Rail coming in with his plays. I just don't, I respect these guys so much. I don't want to just read out all their plays as but King is on them first half and full game.
Oof! Wow, really? Yeah. Well, that doesn't make me feel good about my under, and the line movement doesn't make me feel good about my under either. But I've already bet it. I've already thrown the play in, so hopefully I'll get bailed if I have a bunch of negative EV plays today. Hopefully I'll get bailed out one way or the other. And then we have Minnesota and Chicago. I did take Minnesota first quarter, just -1, and the first quarter team total over 22. Some people in the morning show suggested that Chicago is a lock here, that Minnesota is just old, they have no legs, and Chicago on the money line might be a great play. Did you hear anything about this game?
I did, and we remember on the early show a ton of people on the sky, right? Yeah. A ton of people on the sky, and I went in to my capping understanding that a ton of people were on the sky, and also understanding that King was on the Lynx saying that the playoffs start today for the Minnesota Lynx. So I went into my capping thinking about that. Now, I'm not entirely sure how Sylvia Fowles, how some of these Lynx are going to react to what Reeve, their coach Reeve, is saying. But she's getting in their heads, and I don't know these players well enough to decide whether or not this is going to work or not work. We know that the injury of Brunson hurts the Lynx, but still. In the NBA, I know the players and I know their histories. I know their character, and we've watched them come up, through college, if they do college or high school or whatever. But you have an idea of how they handle certain things. Here, I don't. Reeve says this. He says, if we don't have our best players playing at their best, it's a big time challenge. Sylvia is affected by stuff around her. Way too affected when something's not going well. So you're up and down with her through the course of the game. I don't like hearing that. That's a slight, Now, I don't know Sylvia Fowles. I don't know her well enough. This is my first year capping this shit. But in saying that, I do agree that the Lynx need to turn it on right now. They lost to Los Angeles, Seattle, and Atlanta in their 3 games since the All-Star break. They lost by 22, 10, and 20 points respectively. They're getting crushed. They lose by 20 points in a home loss to Atlanta. Minnesota held below 70 points for the 6th time this season. They can't allow this to keep happening, and they have to stand up here. So when I heard everybody on the sky in the early show, not applicable, still on the sky. I heard Kings on the Lynx. It makes sense why Kings on the Lynx. So 2 things make sense to me here: the full game and the under.
The full game and the under. Why does the under make sense to you, Jim?
Because Lynx are going to have to play defensively. They're going to have to slow down the Sky. The Sky are going to want to run, but they're going to have to shut that down. They're going to have to shut that shit down. Godmother is Lynx solo over and Mystic money line. Gerald Martinez says Lynx were in a very tough spot playing the best three teams. This is a step-up game for Minnesota against a Sky team they can beat. I'm taking the Lynx full game. I think that they'll control the pace, and we know when one team starts controlling the pace, as we know from all basketball, that then you can control the total sort of. So.
Yes. All right. So the links we're going to give you at Bookmaker -4 -105. That's the current line. -4 -105. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, let me just refresh this page. Betmania and BetPhoenix have 3.5 -110. We can give you that one. The Minnesota Lynx -3.5 -110 at Betmania. Let me just make sure that this is not a stale line here. It's wow, this line is all over the place. Even right now, close to tip-off, it is 4.5. It ranges from 4.5 to 3.5 here. Yes, there it is at Betmania. So Pinnacle has 4.5. Whole bunch of places have 4. The Greek has 4.5, but Betmania is still at 3.5. So we'll give you the Betmania line. Minnesota -3.5 -110. I'm taking Minnesota first quarter -1 and first quarter team total over 22. And Jim is leaning under, but he's not going to make that one a pick, right?
I am making it a pick, and I have.
Oh, the under.
Yeah.
Okay, let's find that one. Let me find that one for you. Minnesota and Chicago. Under would be best line 166 -110. That's at Bet Online.
And
all right, so Minnesota.
Native Queen has joined us.
Oh, how shout out to Native Queen.
And King Rail says I'm taking that again too, -3.5.
Wow.
Native Queen has joined us. Wonderful to have you. We miss you. Aces first quarter. Storm first quarter, first half.
So if she likes Aces first quarter, they are a big underdog, but probably that means they run at least a little bit, right?
Oh, you know they're going to run. That's what they do.
Yeah.
It's what they do. It's just that you think, of all people, Bill Laimbeer is going to allow his team to allow 109 points and not.
All right, so Jim, you've added on the links -3.5 -110, and the Minnesota game under 166 -110. I'm on Minnesota first quarter -1, Minnesota first quarter team total over 22. And then before we get to MMA, which I'm very excited for, Washington Phoenix. We know that Godmother likes Godmother 87. First time viewers who aren't familiar with Godmother 87 just kills it in WNBA. Not everything is a winner, and amazingly, she'll go like 8-2 and then apologize for the 2 losses. But Godmother 87, someone you want to pay attention to WNBA, likes Mystics money line, right? Isn't that what you said? Washington money line.
Oh, I thought it was the Link solo over in Mystics money line.
Yes.
Yeah, and a lot of people like the Mystics money line, and I can understand that. But I just have a very tough. I just find it very difficult to believe that this Phoenix Mercury team is just going to get destroyed at home over and over again. They've lost 5 of 6. They've lost 4 straight games at home. And I know that they're an old team and over the hill, but the same idea that the Lynx are going to wake up. You're telling me that this Phoenix Mercury team is just going to get stomped on? I know Mystics have won 3 straight on the road. So here you have a team that's won 3 straight on the road against a team that's lost 4 straight at home. And I don't think basketball is just not that simple. It just doesn't work that way. Now, this is another spot where when these great cappers are on the Mystics, I'm not going to take the Mercury.
Right.
I'm not going to go against them, but I'm also not going to take the Mystics here. That's a tough loss, 78-75 on the road Sunday to the Sparks. We know how good the Sparks are when they turn it on. Taurasi followed out with 2:40 left. They were up by 2 points. Mercury won 84-74 in Washington last time they met. That was on June 30th. I just, from a basketball standpoint, I just don't see this team with these old veterans that are still stars, Griner and Taurasi, just getting dummied at home over and over and over and over again. I just don't see it. So.
All right, so it's a pass for you. That's a late game. If I have an opinion on that one, I will have to tweet it out. I just didn't quite have time to look into that one because I was breaking down the Contender Series, and we're ready. Bring up Annie Marak. Annie Marak has official picks from the Contender Series, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I have given one play so far in the Contender Series, and that is going to be Moffitt inside the distance. Wow, someone must have bet it after I said it because now it's up to -195 at 5 dimes. I'm glad I gave that one out in the beginning of the show. I gave it at -180. Moffitt inside the distance. Just think he's too good for Kilburn, and much more likely than not gets a finish here. Moffitt inside the distance at -180 was my official pick at the beginning of the show. Now it's up to 195. I'd probably take it at -195 as well. The other fights are very interesting. Obviously, former NFL player Hardy is going tonight. Hardy is obviously a beast. He's faster. He's stronger than his opponent. But, I'm not sure I would take, Hardy at -700 or -800 or where he is. His official UFC record so far, Jim, is 1-0. How are you going to be a minus 800 favorite with a 1-0 record? I mean, maybe you can be, but I'm just going to pass on that one. Hardy probably gets the win. Hardy inside the distance is minus 420. Come on.
Yeah, our man Clint has 2 plays. Anna Merrick has 2 plays. If you could look at the chat while I'm doing this, because I'm not going to be able to see it.
Yes, I just want to talk about the other fights. Sure. The best fight of the night is definitely going to be Lowry against Devontae Smith. Both of these guys are finishers. I've read a lot of people thinking that Lowry, who's undefeated, is a good bet here. He's 8-0, but Smith is no slouch on the other side, and the market is definitely telling you the story here with Smith at plus 125, Lowry at minus 145. My thought on this one is that it very, very likely does not go the distance. Now, the line is steep here, minus 280 right now at 5 dimes, and of course there are no totals out right now, but the fight not going the distance, minus 280. I really want to take that one. Obviously anything's possible in MMA, especially at this level, so I prefer to take dogs rather than favorites in any situation, so it makes me nervous to take a shot with the fight not going the distance at minus 280, but both these guys look for finishes. I think one of these guys is going to get a finish, and that would be a lean for me as well. Hold on one second. My computer freezing up once again. Great. At the end of the show, my computer is freezing up. Same deal with the Cochran and Gilpin fight. Again, I'm not sure if Gilpin should be this big of a favorite. Cochran might be a live dog, but I think we will see a finish. This fight not going the distance is just minus 190. Unbelievable. It's just minus 190. And then the Bryant fight is against Kennedy. That's another tough one. Kennedy is a huge favorite. Obviously, he's a lot better than this guy Bryant. Bryant is a guy from Alaska. He's a rural fighter a regional fighter from Alaska, and he's stepping up in competition here. But he has a lot of heart. Kennedy is definitely a guy who has some holes in his game. Not sure that he should be this big of a favorite here at like minus 600 or something like that. Bryant to win or Bryant inside the distance at plus 640 is definitely all tempting. All right, let's hear what Andy Marak's 2 picks are.
Well, let me first. I got Bill Butler because he says I'll take Kennedy inside the distance, but that isn't one of Bill's picks at this point. But he says I'll take Kennedy inside the distance.
Okay.
His 2 picks are Greg Hardy by KO round 1.
Okay. What are the odds there? That's from Bill Butler.
That's from Bill Butler. He says they're serving an opponent on a platter for Hardy.
Yes, they are.
Free money.
Yes, as the UFC is wont to do, and this is one of those situations, so it might be. First round knockout, so what are his odds for that?
I'm not sure. Bill, what are your odds for that? And he's also on Devontae Smith.
Okay. See, there you go. A lot more people were saying that they liked Lowry, but Bill Butler likes Smith. Smith could easily win this one.
Not only is it Bill, but Clint is on Devontae Smith.
Really?
I'm taking a shot with Devontae Smith. His only loss is to current UFC fighter John Gunther, who had just come off the Ultimate Fighter and showed us all just how tough he is. That loss came in round 3 after being beaten on for 12 minutes straight by a kid who had a never-ending gas tank. Devontae Smith is a slight dog, and I'm not sure he should be. Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that one, and I would definitely think if I was going to take either of these five. Oh wow, but the line has gotten bet up. So did he quote a line in that? Nope. In that one? He didn't quote a line, so we'll take whatever line we're going to give him right now, right? And that line has moved up. Devontae Smith opened at plus 105. When I was looking at this one, it was plus 125. Now it's all the way up to plus 140 at Pinnacle and UWager. So we will give him that one. Devontae Smith at plus 140. The line is definitely getting bet up, which doesn't surprise me considering how many people I've been reading saying how much they like Lowry here, but I'm just not seeing it. I think both these guys are tough fighters. It's going to be a tough fight. I would definitely be leaning the fight not going the distance, but that's minus 280. I don't quite know if I have the balls to take that one, the fight not going the distance. And I'm looking at the Kilburn-Moffitt fight. Fight won't go the distance is minus 265. That one I do like, and I will throw that one on as well. I'm going to try to stack on another unit there. Moffitt fight doesn't go distance, and that will be minus 265. Fight doesn't go distance. Moffitt and Kilburn. If that one does go the distance, then I will lose 2.5 units on that one, but that's okay. I just think Moffitt's definitely going to get a finish here. Not definitely, but even at minus 265, a little bit of value, so I'm throwing that one on as well. The Moffitt fight doesn't go distance, minus 265, and Moffitt inside the distance at minus 180, and Anna Marak likes Devontae Smith at plus 140.
Yeah, interesting. You see Bill and Anna Marak both on Devontae Smith and the market moving against him.
Yeah, and Devontae Smith right now to win is plus 140 at Pinnacle. Smith inside the distance at 5 dimes plus 150. So that shows you how much the market thinks that it's likely to not have a finish. And then what's the second play that he likes?
Second play that he likes is Jacob Kilburn.
Oh no! Are you serious?
Yes, both guys are relatively untested, fighting medium to low-level competition. However, Jacob Kilburn appears to be the more athletic and explosive fighter of the two. Bobby just lost by KO earlier this year, so who knows what condition his chin is in, and he's fighting an aggressive striker. Plus, I just think this line is way too wide.
Well, Andy Marak's going directly against me. I took Moffitt minus 180 inside the distance. I also took the fight not to go the distance, so if Moffitt does get caught, then, I'll lose less than a unit because I'll lose the Moffitt bet, but I'll win a unit on the fight not going to distance. All right, maybe I'm in bad waters here, but he likes what? He likes Kilburn, huh?
He
likes
does.
him inside the distance or just
straight.
And did he quote a line?
Nope.
All right, this one has also gotten bet up. It opened at about plus 300 for Kilburn. Now the best line will be at Intertops and Pinnacle, plus 360. Damn, so me and Andy Marak are going directly against each other, head-to-head. Kilburn, plus 360. Shit.
Jesus, that's a big dog.
That is, plus 360, and Andy Marak is taking that one.
That's a big dog.
Yeah, and let me see what Kilburn inside the distance. Kilburn inside the distance, plus 473. Wow.
Oh, shit.
I'm surprised to hear that, and none too pleased, Jim. I mean, I'm pleased that Andy Marak is giving us his opinions. I love Andy Marak. I'm just none too pleased as far as what it says about my personal handicapping here. Wow. I thought this was going to be a fight where Moffitt was very likely to steamroll him, based on what I read and what I saw.
Yeah,
Nothing to say. There's nothing to say, Jim.
It's a big boy bet.
It is.
Kilburn at a big dog. Lamont Williams says, I need a 3 parlay MLB, please. The games have just started, man. That's going to be hard to do. We can look at our best bets for the future, for the later games. But also, he does have an interesting thing to say about Hardy. I don't know if we have time to
Yeah,
go
sure.
into
Spit it out. Not too long.
It's not too long. Okay, he says Hardy's UFC's poster boy for the Contender Series. They're going to ease him along with competition that he can beat. I dropped the ball here, and I'm really sorry. He opened up at minus 160.
Hardy did?
Yeah, and you could have gotten him there. Everybody should have put a bet on him. He's now minus 600.
Yeah, I don't know if he opened at Pinnacle. At Pinnacle, I'm seeing minus 540 for the opener for Hardy.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
He said if you can get any kind of decent line on him winning inside the distance, you should take it. He's going to have a speed and movement edge on this guy who has a good record and good power, but they brought in specifically to showcase Greg. And then, listen to this, he took a prop bet. A prop bet they offered on Greg to win his next fight by KO after his debut on the Contender Series. That was at plus 240.
Very nice.
So I'm staying off this one since I'm already good to go. But if you can get a half-decent line on him winning by KO, I
don't know where he saw 160, but I'm seeing the opening line at BetOnline minus 600, the opening line at Pinnacle minus 500. Let me check Bookmaker. The opening line here, is minus 680. So, wow. All right.
Oh, wow. And America's coming. He said, Pete, all respect, this is a flyer on the big dog.
Yeah.
I just think the line is off.
No, I hear you. You know I love to take those flyers. And while we've been talking here, it just got bet. Someone must be tailing this. So while we're talking, because it just got bet down at Pinnacle to plus 335. You know I love those flyers. I took a flyer on Mays at plus 300, and I was right. And go ahead.
You're looking good in that. Noah Lastark wants you to know you're looking good. Aces are up 9-2 early.
All right.
Over 19.5 first quarter.
Who knows? The truth is, none of us know what the fuck we're talking about. But my record overall is pretty good, Jim. Did you know that, Jim?
I did.
My record overall is pretty good. So who knows? Who knows what the hell we're talking about? Congratulations to Native Queen, who said she liked the ace in the first quarter. That's looking great. All right, should we wrap this up?
Not until.
All right, yes. I just want to say it's been an interesting day. Thanks to everyone for the ups and downs, for bearing with us. I feel like the show was a little bit slow in the morning because I was feeling like shit, right? In the afternoon, the afternoon show was a little bit better because I was feeling a little bit better. I have no clue how I'm going to be feeling tomorrow. Absolutely none. But my guess would be that I'm going to be feeling good, and if that's the case, we're going to have 2 really nice shows tomorrow, Jimmy the Bag.
We love you so much.
Thanks very much.
You're absolutely beloved by us, and we care about you so much, man. So thank you for coming back in action, and just know that this is the one place we can feel good about ourselves, sitting right here.
The one and only place. Take 2 steps out of this door, all of a sudden, and feel like shit again. I hear you, Jim. No, I'm kidding around. And on that note, let's wrap this shit up. Who knows what's it? The only thing I have less of a clue of than how I'm going to feel tomorrow is what's going to happen in this upcoming segment, which is Lucrative Larry's Play of the Future. How did the last play go, Jim?
The last play did not go so well. The tennis parlay.
So what is that, like 3 losses in a row?
No, because we forgot to award him that under in the Tour de France.
Oh, okay.
Under finishers after all the feces in the urine.
Okay.
Oh, were you hoping for Freddie Fortune? Freddie Fortune?
This is.
I don't know what the it is. Freddie Fortune doesn't have it. Freddie Fortune doesn't have it. The guy's lower than Mr. Peters Lenovo. He's even worse than Mr. Jimmy's MLB record.
It's like he's been taking some online comedy classes
Wow,
and learning.
wow, that hurts me.
Yeah,
That-
very
that-
nice.
that
Now,
hurts me right
the
here.
execution could be better, but could be a lot worse. Good job.
Heading to the Champions League qualifying, picking Celtic on the three-way over AEK Athens FC, minus 138 at Bet365. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Lucrative, Larry. What can I say? The kids love us. Always brings an unexpected. You know, the most important thing in life is just to keep things unexpected, I guess, you know. So you never really know what's going to happen. That's why we throw on this segment at the end of every show. Lucrative Larry's play of the future. What's his record now? He's lost what? No, but I mean, he's lost a couple in a row or one in a row.
No, because he hit with Sunderland. He hit with the England League One, Sunderland 2 ago. But yeah, he's not. It's not been a very good run from him. I think Freddie Fortune's getting in his head.
Getting in his head a little bit. Good.
Before we go, the show's over and we should move on. But our man who does so much for us, Angel Romero, said I was. Where is he? Said I was capping. Here, can I please have your best bet of the day? Focused all my time on Mexican soccer, asking for us if we could just give him a top bet. Now, it has to be from a later game.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't do this for everybody,
No,
but for
we
Angel
will.
Romero.
Of course we'll do it. So what does he want? Best bet of the
best
day.
bet on a late
But I don't want
game.
him to bet this. I'll give him my opinion. But listen, Ranger Romero, you do not want to be telling necessarily what my opinions are. My best bet of the day, well, it would have been one of these team total overs against Hernandez or Colon or Sabathia and Lopez. But all right, my best bet of the day, I'll just make it Cubs second half minus 125. Just a simple play. It's not a huge line. They have a bullpen edge. They have a lineup edge, I think. Cubs second half minus 125. I don't know.
And I'll say my play that I have the most confident in really right now, and it was the first play I knew I was going to make, is Brewers minus 1.5.
Sounds great. Thanks so much, Jimmy the Bag. Thanks so much to all the commenters. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern Time.